Thanks for inviting. Thanks for coming. So I'm Scott. I'm co-founder and CTO of Kite AI. The most question I got in this conference is that, what the hell is Kite AI? What do you guys hear? I think we're actually working into an AI super cycle. This is actually going to be bigger than 2000 internet cycle. It's bigger than 2010 mobile cycle. This year is first year for Agentic AI, and then it's already happening. It was not able, Agentic AI was not happening like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, but now you now can have an agent help you do most of the stuff. For example, I spent less than 3 days build an AI agent, can help you order Uber Eats, can help you order Uber rides, and then with almost 100% success rate. This was not feasible 3 months ago. Unfortunately, they did not allow me to demo the product. Otherwise, I can just do a live demo. So why now? So I think today, one of the most important questions is that AI has been 6 super cycles. Why this cycle is different? Why is this cycle different? Take as a past experience as example. I built 2 machine learning models at Uber before. One is if I'm taking an Uber from here to the airport, if I have a car collision, the Uber will call me. The Uber will also call 911. So this is a very simple classification. Say, is there a car crash for this ride? Guess how much money we spent for just a very simple yes or no. It took us almost 5 million. The reason is that we need a data engineer looking through 30 million trips every single day, find those trips who actually collision. This is the positive data example. Then you need to downsample some negative data example. You have data engineering work on this, all the GPS data, all the trips data, and that's probably take anywhere between 3 months to 6 months. Then you have a data scientist. This is a non-sexy term before the AI engineer, who going to go through this tons of data and start building a machine learning model for this. It took anywhere between 3 months to 6 months as well. Then you have machine learning engineer help you productionize this model, and you have software engineer incorporate this into the product. The whole life cycle requires 4 to 5 different type of engineer and work anywhere between 12 months to 24 months. And it requires you maintain this forever. So you probably just for development, for a simple yes or no question, it takes you $5 million. And this is actually common. Think about a recommendation system. It's going to be $100 million to build a recommendation system. So that's why most of the companies don't have a recommendation system. You only have TikTok, YouTube, have this recommendation system. It's not very common. But what makes it different this time is that instead of build every single machine learning model or AI model from scratch, you have a super smart foundation model you can use. And then for last 2 years, AI scientist, AI engineer has built this model. Instead of say, hey, I zero shot give you answer. You ask me a super hard question. I try to answer extremely fast for you. The 2 years effort for the last 2 years is that they're trying to make AI models think slow. So instead of say, hey, give me a super hard math question, I'm going to give it answer to you. Say, hey, can I break down this question to a step by step? Let's actually work through every single step. In this case, it's actually empowers the AI model and the AI with the reasoning. In this case, it's think like human, So in this case, so because of the recent breakthrough with the reasoning reinforced learning, now you can have AI agent think really through and then give you a much better answer. And reason about itself, reason about its logic. So this is a fundamental difference. So instead of building an AI model from scratch to answer yes or no questions, spending $5 million, you can piggyback a really smart, reasonable, reasoning model, and then just spend less than $100 and less than one month, 1 week actually, to build it. So that's a fundamental difference. Then we're going to say what's going to be happen next. I think that currently the biggest obstacle for AI agent is that we don't trust AI agent. Do you trust your AI agent help you do the most work? Probably not. We need to hold AI agent accountable first. That's why what Kite AI do is that we want to make sure give AI agent passport and ID to hold it accountable. This is the first step we do. And then the second step is that we want to make sure give AI agent a wallet. They can exchange for services for payment, autonomous spending money to get the service against the data they can get. So that's the payment part. We also want to make sure AI agent has its own signature. And then, whoever want to, whoever service provider provide the service to the AI agent, they can request a signature and the AI agent can prove themselves. But the most important thing is that the trust. So that's why Kite AI is building this trust layer between agent and agent interaction to make sure every single agent-to-agent interaction, you have the smart contract, programmable smart contract guarantee, the SLA between agent to agent. And then I think people, think about AI, think something very complicated, like what's machine learning, what's LLM, what's this part, what's that part. I think with agent, you can simplify it as a restless, simple human beings who can reason for you, who understand your preference in this case. So it's much easier to think this as a mental model, say what agent can help me. So a little bit by myself. Before Kite AI, I founded a streaming DB company. Before that, I spent 4 years at Uber. I was the Uber engineering committee chair for a year and a half, just to review all the major engineering design before at Uber. And then I built Uber's first internal skill.ai from scratch, the grew team to 200 people. I was also one of the founding engineers at Salesforce and Instant AI Cloud. So I spent the last 15 years in foundational data and AI infrastructure in Silicon Valley. And then we also have my co-founder. She was an AI PhD from Berkeley. She got a product management. She was a product management at Databricks and Data before. We also have Lily and Vic here. Previously, lead the ecosystem and BD at Near before. So that's what If you look at the Kite AI's vision, we see that this year will be the first year of agentic AI. The DeepSeek moment proves that the AI model can break down the reasoning step by step, and then they can do the reasoning in a very reasonable way. When I built the AI model, in the last few weeks, when I built my first personal AI agent in the last few weeks, I found the AI can be extremely smart and extremely dumb at the same time. It's extremely smart because if I give them a well-defined question, if I say this is a contact, this is a problem you are solving, it almost never make mistake in this case. But it's extremely dumb because sometimes it's just a lack of tool. Sometimes it's overwhelmed with context. Depends on how you're programming it. Sometimes it's overwhelmed with context. But the key here is that AI agent is this year. And then with agentic AI, with all the new announcement, actually just yesterday, there are two big news happening. First is that Gemini 3 AI, instead of use transformer model, use diffusion model in this case. So think about, instead of reasoning step by step, one word at a time, diffusion model can give you the whole logical reasoning chain, like whole logical reasoning article in one shot. In this case, it can just quickly calculate the whole reasoning step. In this case, it's much faster, much more efficient, and then they get really good result for the diffusion model from Gemini 3. The second is that the second big news have the profound impact is that OpenAI just acquired the legendary designer was iPhone. So in this case, I think OpenAI is going to all in this personal AI. In this case, you already see Apple is all in personal AI, OpenAI is going to all in personal AI. So the agentic AI is coming sooner than anyone realized, I think, in this case. So that's why what AI need to do is that what I envision the AI in the future, not distant future, is next 6 to 18 months, is that you're going to have a personal AI understand you very well. In this case, you have your personal AI, understand your preference, understand your schedule, understand your secret very well with privacy guaranteed. And then this you can think of your iPhone today. And then this iPhone will interact with the service provider here, the service agent provider. It could be like a MCP service. It could be another agent. Here is that going to provide different service. It could be like Uber service. It could be like data service. It could be any agent service. It's probably going to have tons of new service just provide for agent. But how do I make sure there is some agreement between these two agents? That's actually a missing layer. How do I make sure I can hold this agent accountable? That's a missing layer. In this case, think about this. If I send my car to a car repair shop, I have like an agreement with the car repair shop. I have a contract with the car repair shop. This part, first is that the contract for each of this is different, but you also need a contract to make sure guarantee this agent-to-agent interaction is secure. is you can trust. If anything goes wrong, you can buy insurance against it. If anything goes wrong, the service provider, service agent will be slashed and redirect the payment to the user, individual user. So that's what Kite AI is built for: programmable SLA contract and then trust layer. And Kite AI has been we just released our testnet v2 today, actually, and then we already have a tons of users on top of us. We're looking for partnership. We're looking for modules built on top of us. Codata and BT is the first 2 or 3 modules built on top of us, and then we have 100 subnets and modules looking for partner with us. But if you're building an agent, if you're building a service, please come to us and we can provide you agent with autonomous operated wallet, passport, and agent-to-agent interaction protocol. And then why AI need a purpose-built layer 1? For Kite AI, we realized that most of the transaction on-chain we keep is actually AI inference. So if you look at the transaction to AI inference in Kite AI chain today, we have 1 billion inference, but we only have like 100 million transactions. I think that the difference is that we're going to have more and more inference on-chain. So in this case, most of the existing blockchain is built for financial transactions, but inference in AI is actually much more volume and then more related to AI. So that's why we want to first is that make sure the AI inference can be supported as a first-class citizen. So instead of send a financial transaction on blockchain, we want to make sure you can send inference on blockchain in this case. Not do inference on chain, but track the inference on chain in this case. And also we want to make sure there is end-to-end traceability, verification, and dispute. So basically the settlement layer, you can verify what's the inference done for each step, and then you can dispute if the agent make mistake. Most of the service providers, the most thing to worry about is liability. If we can provide end-to-end verification and traceability, you basically just say, hey, I do my best. It's OpenAI's model fault, not my fault. This is actually pretty important for almost all the service providers. So by put AI compute as a first-class citizen on-chain, we modify the block with AI compute and the volume as well. So in this case, we can just based on the volume of the AI contribution. So we can first track every single contribution of AI contributor and reward them accordingly. So that's why if you look at the transaction and AI compute, they share very different traits. Transaction is financial transaction is about who transfer who, how much money. But AI inference is first is multimodal based. It could be like text video, text to audio. It could be text to text. Second is that you basically have request and response tracking differently. So in this case, sometimes the people just have difficulty understand what's Kite AI. So Kite AI is a combination of open AI agent marketplace. We want to build an open AI ecosystem and also with DeFi economic here. We also have our DeFi people, Hydro ecosystem and DeFi lead here. So if you're interested in building any DeFi related product, let us know. Again, so unfortunately, I cannot code a real example. I cannot bring a real demo. But I assure you the other Uber here is almost 100% success rate. So what I built here is that you can think of this as app store for AI agent. On this days, AI agent will come here and say, hey, what service I have I can interact with? It could be like agent-to-agent service. It could be like a tool to enhance the personal agent comes here. And then in this particular case, they have trip planning service, Uber agent service. For the Uber agent service, agent can come here and say, what's the actions they're going to enable? In this particular case, it can be order Uber or order Uber Eats. And then how much you're going to take if I'm taking this Uber service agent? And then what's the service level agreement? For Uber agent, it's order accuracy and order completion in this case. And all this service level agreement is actually a smart contract, which is programmable. And then, in this case, Uber provides this. They want to make sure there is no liability. There's end-to-end traceability and verification. If anything went wrong, they can verify it and dispute it automatically as a service agent provider. So we launched our testnet 3 months ago. We already accumulated more than 5 million wallets and 1 billion agent call. And we're looking for new partnership for the agent. So I still have 2.5 minutes left. I wonder if there's any open question I'm happy to take. Anything related to AI, Kite AI, happy to take any open questions. Is the question how Kite AI going to integrate with other layer 1? So that by developer, who is the audience? Okay, so first is that we are AI-based layer. We're not competing with any single L1. We are built for AI inference use case. We are customized for AI agent use case in this case. So that's why we are very different than most of the layer 1. So that's why we not only we build on Avalanche because Avalanche has the best scalability, finality, and ecosystem support. But we also partner with Solana ecosystem. We also partner with Sui ecosystem because the reason is that they see a huge potential in AI in this case, and then currently all the existing layer 1 is built for financial transaction. What about AI use case? What about AI developer? What if I want to have an inference call? I want to track. I want to have an inference call. I want to prove to my AI user I didn't do anything evil. What's about end-to-end traceability and verification in that case? So that's why I think we are the only AI layer 1 built for these purposes to build a trust layer for AI agent. So we are compatible with every single L1 in Avalanche and other blockchain as well in this case. But for other blockchain, we probably need some bridge integration to make sure they can, they can bridge here. And then our focus is not on meme coin. If you want to launch meme coin on Avalanche, it's on us, on Kite AI, great. But our focus is not on meme coin. We focus on AI builder. So all this focus we focus on is the AI builder and AI user. Again, come from 15 years of experience in data and AI background. AI use case is actually gonna faster than any of the adoption for last 25 years. You're going to be faster in internet, you're going to be faster than mobile. And then if there is one developer in blockchain, there are probably 500 developers in AI. That's actually the current status quo. And it's only going to move faster in this case. Yeah, I think up to time. Yeah. Thank you.